Okay, we're on a bit of a mission here on a bumpy old road. Where are we? Where are you taking me, Adele?
To a place called Kev. It's the longest named town in Queensland.
Okay, and what's the massive population of this longest town named in Queensland?
Around 300 normally. Just under 300 people live here. So it's not
300? I thought you said it was about 12.
Yeah, I thought I read 12, but then I saw something else saying this census there was about 293 people.
Okay. Alright, now what's the story behind this town?
Well, talking to my mum last night, she said that there was this little place near Dalby, and it was a place that her dad was going to buy a mixed business many years ago, and Mum was very pleased that he didn't because it would have been a very small place, very small town to grow up in. So instead of moving to Kev, they moved to Brisbane.
Here we are, Kev.
The longest named town in Queensland. And if my mum had moved here many years ago, I could have lived here.
It might have been your hometown.
Yeah.
Well, what a night we just had.
Yep. Plague of mice.
Absolute plague of mice. What are you doing now?
I'm just getting all the open food stuff out of the drawers. This is where they loved to scratch around in.
What have they got into that you can see?
Pasta, biscuits, the stuff that's in there I'm just throwing out anyway. Nuts and noodles, because I don't know what they've gone into. Looks like they've eaten that mat. It's non-slip mat.
They were getting into everything, weren't they?
I could hear them every 5 minutes. The traps were going off. Unbelievable. One, and then what do we get up to?
I think 15. Going by the one that was there this morning. But I lost count at 12, so I'm guessing there was around about 3 more after that.
There was no cheese left on the trap, so
yeah,
there's more there.
It got away. Well, it might be that last one that was caught. So, yeah, it wasn't a very fun night, was it?
No.
Now we've got a bit of a clean up to do, and we'll get out of here.
Not staying here another night.
If you don't want to see, close your eyes now.
You won't even see it.
So, Bonneville Reserve. Great spot, but mice. At least mice at the moment, there's plenty of them, the damn things. So our little mice plague means...
We broke a trap. We need more traps. We need more sticky pads. We need lots of things to catch these little mice. I can still hear them scratching.
Yeah, we reckon we've still got mice there, so it's a trip in here to Dalby. We're at Bunnings first, and I've got to see what we can come up with to get rid of these this plague of mice. Alrighty, next stop, Bunnings. Well, Bunnings was a massive fail. There was no mouse traps to be seen, so we're going to need to wander through town, check if there's a Mitre 10. We'll also head into some of the cheap shops, the bargain shops, see if we can find any mouse traps there. Oh well, it's apparently there's just an absolute plague from not only here in the Darling Downs, but Dalby, where we are right at the moment, it's apparently really bad, but all through New South Wales as well. So this might be a bit of a challenge. All right, we checked out the reject shop, nothing in there.
They don't sell them.
No, dollars and cents.
Yes.
What did we manage to pick up there?
Tunnel traps.
A couple of tunnel traps, so they were $4 each.
For 2.
Yeah, and there's 2 traps in each box. So we'll give those a try. And what's the other shop up
Price
here?
Busters seems to be the go. They've got quite a range of mice deterrence traps.
Yep, so they've got some mouse traps and some sticky pads. So we'll pick some up from here up at Price Busters. Hopefully it's going to be enough to give us a solution to what we need there. You thought you heard some more rats?
Yeah, just
Or
as we were
mice?
packing up this morning.
Okay. Adele's ducked into Aldi. That'll give me a chance just to check through exactly where we're going to head to next. I'll get Wikicamps open and have a look. So our aim is to head towards Texas, and I have found a great little reservoir where we can stay the night, but we're looking to head towards Pittsworth first, then we'll make our way down through Millmerran. Well, we've left Bowenville Reserve after mayhem last night with a mice plague hitting us, and we're really hoping we don't have that problem here. We've arrived at the Yarrawonga Weir Reserve, and it's a free camp south of Dalby, and we're on our way to Texas. It's about halfway down to Texas. And here, so great free camp. Once again, lots of corrallers like we had at the Tumba Showground. We've got a river creek system just down below here, but I've had a look, certainly not somewhere I'm intending to go for a swim. Fires are allowed here. We might have a fire tonight, we'll see how we go. So you can have open fires, pets are allowed, and it's completely free. There's no water, there's toilets. Here there is, well, there's a semblance of a barbecue, there's some seating and here and some bins, but we do have a little bit of Telstra coverage, so it's only around about 2 bars of 4G, but it's enough to get us through. We arrived about an hour ago and managed to get ourselves set up. We're the only ones here. We're here on our own, so no problems at all. Lots of gum trees all lined up there, so we weren't that keen on setting up underneath any of those, especially after what we saw at Bowenville Reserve, where that big trunk off a gum tree had crashed down. Some guys there that we met, Bob and Kez, Bob told us that just the days before that tree trunk fell, there were campers right underneath it, and they left the day before that branch fell down, so it could have been absolutely disastrous. Don't camp under gum trees, guys. Avoid them wherever you can. They're not called widowmakers for no reason. So we've got some water down here. You can apparently go fishing down there as well. Some signs there at the front just saying make sure you remove any carp, don't put them back, big fines if you do. It's much like tilapia. They are a pest species, so you need to get rid of them. Anyway, that's a quick look around here. Yarrawonga Weir. It's not too bad.
I've been sleeping with the lights on, buried in regrets, breaking into sweats, naked as a falling leaf. Well, it's a natural reaction, driven to distraction, clawing at the ghosts I'll never meet. Oh, and I don't know where they go when they vanish in the corners of my eyes, and I don't know
Oh, how are we going? We're nearly ready.
Just finishing the wiping up and just got to pack up.
I just had an idea.
What?
It's a good one.
What?
I reckon today we should swap around and you drive the motor home and I'll take the forward drive.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no. That's a silly idea.
So, to all those who ask us who drives which vehicle, you just got your answer. Okay, so before we go, each and every time I do a walk around the outside, check and make sure what it is that still needs to be done. So recognise that the step needs to be brought in. I've got the wheels chopped up, so they'll need to come off. I'm checking the windows to see that all the windows have been closed. The aerial up on top, that it's down. Come around this side, so slide out goes in. I want to close those compartments off. And now we know we're ready to go once we've got those last couple of things finalised. There's a short gravel road into the free camp for 2 to 3 kilometres. It was fairly easy and I was able to do around 40 kilometres an hour all the way in the motorhome. There weren't many corrugations to have to navigate.
We made our way to Pittsworth to visit Cook's Soft Drinks Factory. We met Brendan, the owner, and he was fantastic to chat with, and he told us all about the history of Cook's Soft Drinks. He briefly showed us out the back, but Brendan had only just moved into these new premises and things weren't fully set up. These soft drinks are made using traditional, old-fashioned methods and lots of enthusiasm.
A quick stop on the way out of Pittsworth to see the murals and we were on our way again. So we've arrived in a town called Turallin, which is only around about 6 kilometres outside of Millmerran, and it's mostly an abandoned old town. There's a couple of people that still live here on farms, but the most part it's pretty well abandoned, and you'll see houses like this one behind me. Something else I'm noticing a lot of here is these cactus. I can see a lot of fibro sheeting there. It's all broken up down here. You can see an outhouse down the back. So as I was saying, there's a lot of fibro sheeting here all around, and you can see the roof all collapsed. So obviously those old fibro roofs and that fibro sheeting is once it's broken, then it's quite dangerous and potentially causes cancer. So just as well, that's fairly abandoned. I'm about to walk into a cobweb. Scattered around this old abandoned town here at Turallin is also, you can see some cars. This is an old Kingswood. Looks like a Holden Ute over there. You've got a, I'd say it's a Ford. And an old Valiant over the back there. Still no shortage of flies, that's for sure. Right, let's see what else we can find. Well, I reckon I know why they abandoned this place.
Flies!
They're insane. So we've come just down past where the cars were, and there's a couple of houses here, and as you can see, they're abandoned. I'd say that was another house there.
That one, yeah. Look at this thing at the back, standing on it.
Let's go and have a look. Well, we won't be entering that house.
No.
These old gum trees. There's kangaroos jumping around here too. There's an old fridge. So just looking at how the how it's been made, you can see through a lot of the cracks there in the timber. A light shining through there. There's plenty of holes up in the tin roof. You would expect movement over the years. I'm not sure whether this is concrete or wool. It's wool.
Is this a canoe shed or something?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's a house, but that wool could have been used for something.
I think they'd know, wouldn't they?
Adele's upset because they haven't mowed. Well, she's seen better days. These flies. Always fascinating to see these old abandoned and ghost towns. We found a few on our travels. It's always intriguing. Imagining what the life was back in the day when someone lived here, and it's just hard to imagine, isn't it? There's bits of tin around the yard here too. Not sure what that was part of. These beautiful big gum trees, and there's bird's nest up top there. I wonder if the water tank's got any water. Sounds pretty empty to me. It's a wonder none of these gum trees have lost a branch and fallen down and wiped out the house. So at some stage someone's just decided to pack up and move on out. There's not much information about Turallin, so if anybody is watching and does know more, by all means share with us what you know, because there's not much online. I'd say obviously this place was established back in the 1800s. I'm just getting a prickle out of my thumb. And the only thing living here now is kangaroos and birds. See if I can wake up a snake. Might be living inside there. Chipping over metal. Oh, and I forgot about the flies. Plenty of them living here. Well, there we go. Turallin. As I said, it's about 6 kilometres out of Millmerran. We've just come south from Pittsworth, which is below Toowoomba, and discovered this little spot. Quite intriguing. I'll see what I can research further and find out and let you know. But if anybody knows more than us, drop some comments down below and let us know. Alright, time to hit the road, get away from the flies.
Yep.
On with you. We left and began making our way to Texas. We got caught behind a truck carrying a huge tractor which had to slowly make its way through a town. Well, good morning guys. We found ourselves yesterday here in Texas, so we stayed down on the river at the free camp, and the area had a few more vans in there yesterday afternoon than what there is this morning, so it's emptied out a fair bit. There's a river just down the back down here, so it's not a bad spot. Pretty simple, no facilities or anything, but there is in town, so I believe even there's hot water in town. Hot showers I should say, so it's not bad. Just over the back over here there's a bridge you can walk over and see the river. Wasn't too much water in the river, but there was a little bit. It was flowing slowly, but nothing too exciting to report otherwise. You can't actually see the river from here, and I went down to have a look because it was quite warm yesterday. It's cooled down today, but went down to have a look to see if I could go for a swim, but it didn't look that appealing. Rats, or mice, we've had no issues since 2 nights ago. So last night and the night before we've had no mice, so it seems if there was any left over apart from the 15 that we caught inside the motorhome, then they must have gotten back out, so we haven't heard any since then, which has been great. But we do have another problem. and that is, we've known it since the beginning when we left, but due to being on power in Brisbane and then on power again at the Toowoomba Showgrounds when we left, I wasn't 100% sure what was going on. So since then we've been free camping, and we now know we're not generating any solar power at all. So we're not actually getting any from the solar panels to the control panel. So we're not getting enough coming down there. So we're not sure what's going on. Guess at this stage is a switch or probably a fuse. But I've got to find that fuse. I haven't been able to find it so far. I've been through all the ones I have been able to see, but I'll have to keep looking today when we pull up at our next stop and see what I can find out. But hopefully there's one there. So we're just packing up, ready to move on. We've timed this badly here in Texas, unfortunately, so we did come to have a look at the rabbit factory in town, but we arrived late on Saturday afternoon by the time we got everything done, and now it's Sunday and it's closed, and we've even found out tomorrow it's closed again as well. So we're not hanging around Texas for a few days just for that one. So we'll make our way on because we've got lots more to see on this next part of our adventure. Adele's just finished up, so slide out's in. Reckon we're ready? Welcome to Queensland. We hadn't actually left, but welcome anyway. Our stay in Tenterfield proved very short-lived. Car problems with the four-wheel drive meant we had to pack up and make our way to Stanthorpe back across the border. It was a shame as we had just met Roger and Hilda and we were looking forward to spending more time with them.
Next week we make our way to Stanthorpe for repairs to the Triton. We head back to the Queensland-New South Wales border and find a fabulous free camp before going back to Tenterfield and finding an historic bushrangers hideout and site of an F-111 plane crash.
Please remember to give us a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you haven't already.